Okay, everyone, I'm back. Now, I just talked about why fans of the Sonic the Hedgehog Princess Sally Acorn pairing don't like the Sonic Amy pairing or attempted pairing. Now I want to talk about what other haters, as they call themselves, or as fans have called them, have argued and said. Well, I don't want to call them haters. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. But just what other majority of fans that don't support the Sonic Sally relationship have said. Now, according to some friends of mine that I've subscribed to and they've subscribed to me, who have done rants on this before, they have mentioned that there are people out there, fans out there, that say that Sonic should be with Amy, Mina, or Blaze. And he's whoever the hell they wanted him to be with. Well, I just talked about Amy. Now, some people say he should be with Mina. Well, right now, Mina, storyline-wise, is with Ash, her stage manager. And she's already admitted to Ash that she cares about him, she loves him. Now, though, there is the possibility, when you take a look at Mobius 25 years later, and I will talk about that probably next, or in a little while, that Mina ends up with Tails. Now, the reason some people feel as though he should be with Mina is because what? They're both speedy? They both have speed? They're both fast? Well, that's the same thing. That's the same argument people have with Amy, about Sonic being with Amy. Now, I should have mentioned this with Amy, but some people feel as though he should be with Amy because they're both hedgehogs. And that's the same way people feel about him being with Mina. It's not because they're not the same species, but because they both have speed. And then there are some people that say he should be with Blaze. Hello? Blaze? Blaze is in another world doing the Knuckles thing, being a princess, but doing the Knuckles thing and guarding the Soul Emeralds. That's what she's doing. And currently, right now, she's helping out Shadow, I think, in the Sonic Universe issue. But anyway, that's what's going on there. That's what's going on there. So, Sonic with Mina and Blaze, not happening right now. Sonic with Amy, not happening right now. Why? It's because it's all up to what the writers decide to do. And and believe it or not, the writers do listen to the fans because certain writers have been fans themselves. And these certain writers, well, let's just say they understand where the fans are coming from. Now, other people say, besides Mina and Blaze, some other people say he should be with, I don't know, Rouge. Not Rouge. Not going to happen there. Nothing there. Some people say he should be with a new character. But who? Who would you throw into the picture? No one. No one. You can't throw anybody into the picture because why? I'll give you a scenario. Like I said with Amy mentally is still the same age as Tails. So Sonic looks at Amy the same way Fiona looked at Tails. Now, as far as Mina goes, Mina's with Ash, possibly going to be with Tails in the future. Blaze, another world. Other female characters, Bunny Rabbit, married to Antoine, taken up. Who else? Hershey Cat, married to Jeffrey, taken. So who does that leave Sonic with in the possible future? Hello? Knock knock. Can you spell princess? That's right. Princess Sally Acorn. That's who it leaves Sonic with. Despite what people may say or not and how they feel about it, that's what's all being led into. I mean, let's take a look at Mobius 25 years later, okay? Let me talk about that a little bit. Sonic and Sally, when Ken Penders first wrote that storyline, are paired together as king and queen, husband, wife, mother, and father kind of deal. Right? All right. Now, when Ian Flynn wrote the sequel to it, towards the end of that, what happened? Sonic and Sally ended up together. Now, some friends of mine I've subscribed to, and they've subscribed to me, have said that the situation with Sonic and Sally right now, currently, is that they're back to being not just best friends, but they're back to being, Sunday sweethearts. In other words, they flirt with each other, but there's nothing too serious. That's all. I mean, remember what Sally said to her brother a couple of issues ago when he asked Sally, how could you have dated him for so long? She says the thick-headedness has a certain charm. So she has admitted that she still likes him in a way. She still cares about him and still has feelings, but that right now it's on the back burner because of the situation they're in. Now, I know I've mentioned this before when I talked about Sonic and Sally. Some fans are upset, are kind of afraid that if they're put together again, it's going to be deja vu all over again. That you're going to be put together romantically, and then somehow, whoever the writer is, right now it's Ian Flynn, is going to find a way to break them up like Ken Penders and Carl Bowles did. Well, let me explain something. If I was writing the comic book back at the time around issue 124, 25, when Sonic and Sally became, as I call it, pre-engaged or committed to each other, if I would have known, this is the way I would have wrote it. And I'm pretty sure Ian Flynn, who hadn't been like the head writer yet, he probably thinks the same thing. I'm not saying he does, just my opinion. And I'm pretty sure there's other people that wrote for the comic book, and other fans out there that are inspiring probably someday to write for the book. That if I'd been in Ken's position writing that story, I would have wrote it to the point that the characters would have heard about the Zordite coming. They would have gotten some kind of information of this invasion, coming upon them. And what I would have done is I would have had Sonic and Sally kind of hold back on the relationship. As a matter of fact, I would have put a scene in the story after they committed to each other where they kind of sat back with each other, kind of took each other to the side and said, okay, maybe kind of agreed that they should call it off right now, the engagement off right now, because it's not the best time, because the world's about to be invaded or destroyed, so now it's not the best time. I would have done that, but that didn't happen. That didn't happen because this was Ken Penders and Carl Bowles' own way of saying, okay, we put them together, we're going to blast Sonic into space, make everyone think he's dead, have him come back, have him go through another adventure, and then we're going to break him up. That was the whole plan. Quite frankly, I didn't like the breakup, and I never have, but that's their decision. And I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. Because right now, I can see Ian Flynn slowly but surely building it back up, but doing it the right way. That's the way I think it's going on. He's doing it the right way. Now, I know a lot of people. Now, again, I know there's a lot of you out there that don't like don't like the idea of that happening, and feel as though it shouldn't take place. Well, let me ask you this: how many of you are fans of the X-Men comics? How many of you fans of the Superman comics? How many of you fans of the Spider-Man comics? Huh? You take a look at the main relationships in those comic books. You take a look at Jean Grey and Cyclops and X-Men. I'm sure there's a lot of fans that feel as though Jean Grey shouldn't be with Cyclops, she should be with Wolverine. I'm sure that when you look at Superman and the situation he's in right now, to where they got him married and everything with Lois Lane, a lot of you feel as though he shouldn't have married, and that what the writers at DC are thinking about probably someday doing, having Superman, Clark Kent wake up and realize, oh, it was all just a dream, and I'm not really married. And I'm pretty sure you guys feel about the Spider-Man Mary Jane situation. They're married. You feel as though maybe Spider-Man should wake up, think it's just a dream, and he's not really married to her. Okay? Well, you know what? What happened to those characters in those situations, in those stories, is the writer's decisions. And it is a fan service to the fans who want to see that. Fans wanted to see Mary Jane as Peter Parker, Spider-Man get married. Fans wanted to see Superman and Lois get married. Fans want to see Jean Grey and Cyclops together. Same thing with Rogue and Gambit. They want to see it. They want to see it. So, as long as there's a majority of fans out there that want to see Sonic and Sally as a couple, then it's going to happen. Just don't know when, just don't know how. But it might just happen. Like I said, we don't know when, we don't know how. So if I was you, to quote a friend of mine, I'd deal with it. Why? Because it's going to happen eventually, and if you don't like it, that's too bad. But that's all I could say in reply to my friend's defense of the Sonic the Hedgehog and Princess Sally Acorn relationship. Until next time, God bless.